We haven't done this in a while, obviously, because we had a degree, which, as far as we can guess, we've passed, unless we've
Let's hope.
royally fucked up our last pieces of work. But as far as we know, we haven't. So yes, we come up with the name of Fanboy Film Rant. That was it. Yeah, I should write this shit down probably, but
Apparently.
that would be practical. But I'm sure we'll think of a better name or something.
Yeah, you probably should be.
Okay.
It's a
I'm
start.
terrible.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a, I don't know. I'm just eating the cornetto. I'm so happy. Secondarily, although this is a film podcast, done by a bunch of bewildered, mad idiots. No,
You know.
no, that's me. And you guys.
Yeah.
So, also the fact that I haven't actually seen any films in cinema in quite a while, so I'm probably the
So-
worst possible choice of this. But then I thought about that and thought, well, that's almost the funniest thing, because I can almost bet and guarantee that one, two, or both of you have seen far more than me in this last few months, and you'd be able to tell me whatever ones are present on your mind, such as the film that you're going to burst out into a rant on. Not quite yet, but soon. And then I'll be able to be like, shit, I might actually go see these films, whether or not they're actually good, bad, or diseased.
Ugly.
Ugly as shit. Yeah, okay. So I think that'll basically be kind of the basis of this one, I think. I'll try out. It's just another idea of sort of trying out, you know.
You've gone mute. Oh, no.
You? No, I haven't. I have a voice. It's happening. It says there's audio in the thing, so as far as I know, I'm recording.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if I stick with this sort of idea that I haven't seen anything, but I'll base my entire recommendations off of how you guys try and pitch to me the things that you've seen, whether they're tragically bad or brilliant in some case, or maybe okay, or however we judge it, depending on the rant, and my own kind of perception from outside of seeing it, and just from trailers and different things, and other people's rage quitting of the cinema. But we'll move on to that now. What's that film that seems to be on the forefront of your mind there, Steve, that you, as you methodically smoke that cigarette?
Lord of the Rings. No. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Because I heard about this. How? You explain. I can't even try.
Joel's probably better off explaining. He's got a different opinion than I do.
Well, no, start with your opinion, and then I'll, tell you the correct one.
Alright, okay. I didn't think it was as bad as Joel was about to say it is, but yeah, it was a disappointment. I didn't have high hopes, to be fair, so I can't say it's a disappointment, but it wasn't great. It had a lot of flaws, but I thought it for its fan base it was going for, which is obviously not the same fan base as the original films, I thought it kind of worked. I thought it was all right for the most part. I thought there were certain aspects which didn't work, which we can get onto in a minute, but I lost interest after about an hour and a half. That's when I stopped watching. I was just like, it's not for me. It's not that it's a bad film all the way, but all right. Joel's looking at me weird, but go on. Okay, Joel, you say your part. Go on.
It is. It's fucking awful. It's terrible. You said that the first one was worse.
It was.
Yeah, you watched that one all the way through. You couldn't even get through the second one.
I was in the cinema. I paid money for the ticket. Of course I'm going to watch it all the way through.
So did I. I still left. It was shit.
I think I went for a pint with my mates afterwards anyway, so, I just wanted to stay with them. I wasn't going to just leave them watching it, was I?
Well, the second one's fucking worse, man.
I disagree. But
how is the second one better than the first one?
Okay, firstly, the action was far better. The antagonists, maybe not actually. I don't know. The antagonists were shit in both, really. Let's face it. But I did, to be fair, although I thought Electro looked kind of shit, I thought his powers seemed pretty cool in action. Whereas Lizard was kind of like, who cares,
I didn't care. Well, the thing is, like, you're saying, oh, the action was kind of cool and stuff like that, and I know the lizard was crap anyway because there was no real motivation, so you couldn't get invested in the action. But I couldn't get invested in the action in this one either. What's the story? Oh, you forgot my name. You're
No,
brainless.
that wasn't the reason.
That's stupid.
No,
Why would I enjoy the
Well,
action?
you got the wrong. It wasn't because you forgot the name.
Was it not?
You remembered the name.
No, he didn't. He said,
he-
"You're my eyes and ears." He didn't. He forgot his name was Max.
No, and he forgot at first. Then he said it. It was like, it's Max, isn't it? It's Max, isn't it? And then he remembered. So it wasn't that. That wasn't the reason. It was all a mistake. But okay, sorry. Go on, Charlie.
For me and those who haven't possibly seen it, who's Max?
Oh, sorry.
Electro.
Right.
Yeah, basically, he's a bit of an outsider guy. He's a bit of a loser, and he works for Oscorp as like a cleaner or something, wasn't he? So
He's like a handyman, like electrician.
handyman, yeah, electrician. That's the one. And
Oh, we didn't see that coming.
No, we didn't. And like, yeah, he that was what was stupid actually. How he became Electro.
Oh, fucking electric eels.
No.
How our villain becomes.
That was part of it. He got
No,
an
it was
electric shock.
electric eels.
It was like it was a live wire, and it gave him electric shock. Then somehow, I didn't see how it happened, but he fell through the roof or something weird like that, and he landed in a tank, and the eels made him even worse into electric. I don't even know how it fucking works, to be honest. That's the one thing I can't justify. It was like, what?
And magically, while he's getting electrocuted by eels, the gap in his teeth close. You get a close up of that of a gap in his teeth closing. Why would electricity make a gap in your teeth close? I don't fucking know. It's stupid. Why would you turn into a blue Mr. Freeze looking dude from Eels? I don't know. The film sucks, man.
Electric eels are really good dentists.
Yeah.
Maybe in Finding Nemo, but this film I don't know. But yeah, I mean I don't know. I mean the thing is for some reason, I laughed at the comedy, and Joel hung up.
No, the comedy was terrible.
Joel hung up on me the other day because when I was talking about it on the phone, I told him I found it quite funny, and he just hung up on me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot.
The comedy was very, very like bottom of the barrel stuff, but I did find some of it funny. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Maybe I'm warming up to Andrew Garfield. I don't know.
Why would you? He's such a little bitch.
I really don't know, but something about it. Maybe I was laughing about how bad it is, but instinctively I chuckled.
Okay, Steve, look at me on Skype right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm skinny, and I have a yellow jumper on, and I have a massive neck. I look like a giraffe. But Andrew Garfield, how could you warm up to him?
You said he liked him beforehand on that fucking film.
He's fucking. His neck looks like a leg. It does.
Yeah, okay.
I like him with Social Network, but like Spider-Man.
Let's not get shallow here, man. You know, it's all about appearances, man.
Well, yes, it is. Really.
Well, yeah, it was a shit-looking Peter Parker. I'll give you that. 100% shit-looking Peter Parker.
Tobey Maguire, you look at him, he's an ugly, weird-looking fucking of a man.
But it's perfect Peter Parker, isn't he?
Yeah, there you go. He's an ugly dude. Where Andrew Garfield, he looks like. I don't even know what he looks like. He looks like some knob that you find having sex with loads of girls when you're sitting on your own, depressed about it. He's one of those guys. And apparently he's supposed to be playing someone like us who can't get with people. Fuck off. That's bullshit.
Who says I can't get with people?
Well, who are you dating right now? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, let's get back on topic. I mean, here's the thing. Like, although I'm partly defending it, at least as far as Joel's rants go.
You couldn't finish it.
I couldn't finish it. It's not because it's not my thing. That's the thing. It's aimed predominantly at this sort of fake nerd culture. That's what I'm seeing in it. It's like people who don't really give a shit about comics, don't really give a shit about how Spider-Man's presented. The people who just want to see a bit of, you know, spider powers and superhero stuff with a bit of romance and a bit of like Twilight-esque stuff, I guess. So it's not 100% bad, but it's not for me, which is why I didn't watch it. But I can see why it has the appeal, because it's better than the first film in the fact that the storyline, as far as I saw, made sense.
In the first half hour.
In the first hour and a half.
I don't think so, really. I thought it was a bit muddled. Well, maybe the storyline made sense, but the film was all over the place in terms of what it was trying to do. 1 minute you got really goofy comedy, which is fine, I guess.
Oh, tonally, it was all over the place. I'll give
So
you that.
tonally, yeah, it's all over the place.
The mood changes were like stupid.
And then it didn't hold my attention then, because I was like, what am I supposed to be feeling here?
Yeah.
Because 1 minute, literally, there's 1 minute where Andrew Garfield's being goofy, and then the very next scene, all of a sudden Gwen Stacy just breaks up with him and he's crying.
Yeah, it was so like sudden. It's like what?
And then it goes back to the weird comedy again. I'm like, what? Like,
no, that was very inconsistent. I'll give you that. It wasn't as bad as the narrative in the first film though, which was completely inconsistent, where it just dropped things. Completely just dropped things. Like every fucking narrative just boom, just ignored. But anyway,
hey, this happened.
Oh, sorry.
Moving on, I poured some coffee on the script, and now we don't need to deal with that problem anymore.
Yeah,
Oops.
basically.
I don't know how to write my way out of this problem. Better put an action scene in there.
At least it didn't have Norman Osborn with goblin claws.
Oh, that was stupid. I will give you that. Norman Osborn, just stupid exposition. That was unnecessary. It was trying too hard. If they wanted to put Norman Osborn in, they should have done it properly and made him Green Goblin, as opposed to just rush it in for 2 minutes of the film just to have him with some stupid claws. That was stupid.
Why does that disease give him claws?
I don't know.
He looked like he had leprosy or something, and then he had these weird little claws and his hands like shakes, and
that made no sense. But yeah, here's the thing. But one thing I know we both agree on, Joel. The whole comedy in the action just doesn't work, does it?
No, it doesn't. No. I don't care if it's closer to the comics or not. Who gives a shit? I'm watching a film to watch a film. When you put that into an action scene where Spider-Man is doing all these little quips and his snappy dialogue, it takes out the urgency of the action, and I don't give a fuck.
You said it, yeah, exactly. And thing is, I'm pretty sure the only reason they put the comedy in the comics was either to make it light-hearted when it was dark, or because like it's a comic and you've got loads of images and no dialogue, so you don't want to have full pages of just bam bam bam. You need to have a bit of dialogue to keep it together and keep you engaged. So I think it's the only reason it was in the comics in the first place, I reckon. And so and when it comes to the film realm, just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Like if you look at any like old Marvel comic, anything like X-Men or something like that, if they're not like quippy characters, even during the fighting, they are still speaking. There's nothing but exposition coming out of their mouths.
Mm.
And you don't see them doing that in like these X-Men films. If you look at X-Men 2, when Wolverine's fighting someone, he's not going, I must do this, or the bomb's about to tick off, or something like that. They don't leave that in. So why would you leave those stupid fucking jokes in with these new Spider-Man films? It's just, It doesn't work.
Absolutely. Although it got away with it in the first scene of combat when it's chasing down Rhino in his human form.
No, it didn't.
I think it did. I think maybe it didn't for you, but I think it gets away with it then, because at the beginning of the film it's a bit more lighthearted. It's just just setting the setting the tone of the film. Well, not really even that. It's just I don't know. It's at this point in the film, Spider-Man's happy. He's with Gwen. Gwen Stacy. Things are going well. It seems he's about to graduate. I could see why I'd be a bit happy and lighthearted about stuff. But at the same time, when it got later on in the film, it was just like, well, this is meant to be serious, and I'm sort of not knowing what to feel here. It was a bit. It just didn't really work for me.
To be fair, like we can't even. If anyone ever does listen to this, they're gonna think we're the biggest dickheads in the world, because we've got two people here that have only seen an hour or an hour and a half in it, and the other dude hasn't even seen the film.
Well, even those who did fully watch it didn't want to talk.
I don't know, man.
What does that tell you about it?
Didn't want to see it.
The film's got its defenders. Some people really like.
No, I
this
mean
movie.
out of the people I just asked to come and help. Those who had seen it all the way through were just like zero response.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. It's like, okay. But hey, yeah. I don't know.
don't really know what to say about it anymore. The bit I left, it wasn't Mumford and Sons. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Mumford and Sons. Anything Mumford and Sons-esque, I'm going to get pissed off. But there was that scene. I know you said, it fits because he was listening to it on his headphones, Steve. But the bit where Peter Parker's putting all those things up on the wall to find out about his parents, and he's all depressed and shit like that. You have an original score. You have a composer doing music. Use the fucking composer. Don't put on some little teen idol band while Peter Parker's running around feeling, frustrated about his life, and then have him headbutt the wall, sad, and then show a picture of him and Gwen and it says, you should call her, with her number underneath. Why did he write her number underneath anyway? Surely he'd have it on his fucking phone. This film is stupid. I hate it.
I don't think it was the number, but regardless, I still go back to what I said. It wasn't targeting us. I don't think. I really think it was more Twilight fake nerd audience where they're into this sort of. I don't know. I mean, like, Peter Parker is clearly not. I think we discovered from the first one. It's not the Peter Parker we know from the comics or from the original Sam Raimi trilogy. It's definitely a new Peter Parker. So this Peter Parker is a bit more in tune with his emotion and his broodingness and all that stuff. So I think it kind of made sense for him to have his little earphones, his little emo music, in that sense. But it also makes any hater of Sam Raimi look like a right hypocritical cunt to say that it's fine for Andrew Garfield's character to be brooding, but in Spider-Man 3 it just doesn't make sense. You can't have that. He's turns into an emo there. Though people say they are idiots because it made sense because he has the symbiote attached to him in that film, whereas in this film he's just a brooding little emo.
No, like, you can have him. Peter Parker's always had problems and stuff like that. That's fine. The one that did it perfectly was Spider-Man 2. He's got problems all over, and there's just shit on top of shit on top of shit. And he's a bit of an emo about. Well, he's not even an emo about it. He's just trying to deal with it. I don't know where this sudden shit, especially even in the first one. Peter Parker's just a moany bitch now. He's not even trying to get on with it. He just does nothing but moan. He becomes a dick. I don't know why people like him.
He was a dick from the first film. I remember the first time he does that little when the carjacker is getting into the car and Spider-Man gets in. He's already in, and then he's being a dick to the guy, and then he says to the cops, "Oh, I just did half your job for you, huh?" And it's just like, fuck off. That's not Spider-Man. That's just like a little cocky cunt.
Exactly. He's an asshole. I don't like the new Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't either. But like I said, it's clearly not aimed at us. It's just a new audience. It's what's trying to break in now.
Yeah, but why don't you aim it at fucking children? These films are for children. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, obviously I like it, but I see these as children's films. If you try and make everything so fucking dark, like, it just ruins it. What happened to, Spider-Man, I don't know, saving someone from a burning fucking building or something like that? Why has he got to go around talking shit to the police and making cars crash and stuff like that?
That is a point. Yeah.
Asshole.
All right, that's the point we need to get onto actually. All right, Joel, you said I mentioned this to you on the phone. You said, Joel, that he causes a crash when he's going over to meet Gwen. He's crossing the road and he gets in the way of traffic, and then one of the cars crashes as a result of it. That was very minor. That was literally, it wasn't really his fault entirely. It was partly his fault, but that was a minor thing. It was only like a smash of a wing mirror or something. But in the beginning, I might be wrong here, but during the combat, and Spider-Man's meant to be saving all the citizens. He's meant to be for the people and all that stuff. In the first beginning fight scene, where he slings and attaches onto Rhino's van he's driving. And then he distracts Rhino and forces him to crash. As far as I saw, it was Spider-Man's fault that makes him crash and causes a massive pile-up. Exactly. That is not Spider-Man. He saves one person from that. Of all the people who crash their cars in that pile-up, Spider-Man only saves that one Max dude. That's it.
Yeah, and that's only because it's good for the plot.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of inexcusable. That's one thing I'll have to give a shit on, because that is ridiculous. If that was indeed Spider-Man's fault, if he did cause it, but even then, like, wouldn't you care about the people in the cars?
Yeah, exactly. It's just
like, oh shit, destruction. Well, good thing I got the bad guy.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Well, actually, no, the thing is, Charlie, you've not been getting into this. How about this, Charlie? Tell us about you've seen the first film, right? Amazing Spider-Man 1. Were there any problems you had with that film which you hoped would be resolved in this film?
Well, when I remember watching the first film, this was quite interesting because I forgot nearly the entire plot about an hour later. And I only remembered this when people were ranting about it or talking about it, like you guys and shit. That's all that made me remember it. Like, it went, like, it was like, oh, that was a thing, and then, oh, that's gone. I didn't find it. I think, like, the only thing that became memorable about it was people talking about it, rather than the actual film.
Yeah. There's a lot of controversy.
Which is probably even without seeing Amazing Spider-Man 2, it almost feels like that's what I'm going to remember about this now. Just talking about it. And this one, I haven't seen it. I'm getting the exact same feeling I had after the first one. With that one, it was mostly, it was a similar thing that I thought it could work, but it was sort of like Joel just burst into laughter in the middle of that.
Sorry. No, don't worry.
It's important, Joel. It's irrelevant to the conversation.
It's about Spider-Man, but I'll leave it because I don't want to be a dick.
Alright.
Okay. Well, with the first one, from what I remember, problem-wise, it was pretty much just I didn't think that it was strong enough, like overall.
It was forgettable.
As much as like it could. Yeah, I forgot it. Literally, that's my biggest thing. I just completely forgot the entire fucking thing.
Well, it was generic.
I remember there was a thing with a shotgun. I remember the fucking, but that's just because
shotgun?
I play it. I remember it.
I've only seen it once myself.
And I only remember that because I was playing a lot of Left 4 Dead that night. That's my memory. Like I have to connect to a video game to get any memory back. I don't know. So yeah, and when the trailers were up for this, I saw it and I thought, okay, it might be alright.
Actually.
Okay,
I thought it actually looked quite good.
And then they were like, oh, there's all of these villains. What? Okay,
Crammed.
that's a lot, and it's 2 hours 20 or whatever it is, and I'm like, what? What? You want kids to sit for 2 hours 20
in a fucking cinema?
Straight action film. Like, it's pretty fucking near impossible to pull that off.
I did it with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I said
but Lord of the Rings
impossible.
is compelling.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not compelling. Okay, Lord of the Rings, you've got loads of things. Kids can find something out of all the different characters in that. If you sit an 8-year-old kid down to watch Amazing Spider-Man 2, and most of what I saw from it was relationship troubles, kids ain't gonna give a fuck. They don't like girls. They want to see Spider-Man. They don't want to see him crying because his fucking hot girlfriend says, I don't want to be with you anymore. They don't care.
Yeah, true. I didn't even like live action when I was a kid.
Not about him?
When I was like 5 or 6, I still didn't like live action. It was all animated stuff for me.
I was a pretty heavy animation freak, but yeah, the live action I did watch was mostly old TV shows, and my dad got me to watch like Doctor Who and Sweeney and shit, so yeah.
I was thinking, apparently the next villain's going to be the Vulture.
The Vulture.
I was thinking, Steve,
Alright.
maybe you should audition for him.
Why?
Well, he's got a big nose, isn't he?
Oh, Joel.
So,
okay.
That's what I was laughing at earlier. So.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But have you heard they're going to get this newer character in?
Oh, yeah, go on.
Well,
it's the giraffe.
Oh, the giraffe, yeah?
You should audition, man.
I should.
You've got a perfect neck. Or you could be Andrew Garfield, you know.
I could be Andrew Garfield.
I need a stunt double.
I'm his stunt double already.
Yeah. Might need to get neck extension for the.
I know, because he's still a lot bigger than my neck.
Gotta make his neck smaller. We need a graph from this human.
Yeah.
Cut him up. There we go.
Oh, another thing. Wasn't the Stan Lee cameo useless in this film? What
was it?
He was at the graduation at the start of the film. I don't know.
Yeah, that was terrible.
With me, I know that a lot of comic book fans are going to say this is sacrilegious and what a dickish thing to say because he's done everything for the genre and stuff like that. But is it just me or does Stan Lee cameos just take you out of the film now?
Yeah, a little bit. A tiny bit. I mean, I'm not bothered.
I don't like it.
I like when they blend in, they're quite nice. But when they don't, nah.
Yeah, like the original X-Men, you would see him off in the distance and he was on the beach as someone came in and you have to really look for him, like an Alfred Hitchcock thing. It wasn't in your face.
Was done like a... I think... Like, I quite like the one they did in the Avengers, I remember. That was quite smooth. Like, you actually cut to him, but it was fast and they moved on. They didn't, just say, oh, there he is.
I thought Spider-Man was
Linger.
I mean, which was Spider-Man 2, where it says, I guess one man can make a difference.
That's 3.
3, that was alright. That was kind of...
Nah, that was too much.
It wasn't too in your face, I think. I think it was alright.
Oh, come on.
It could have been anyone.
No, come on.
Alright.
One and two, at least, like he was like kind of quick there. He saved some people from getting hit by debris or whatever. I think that happens in 1 and 2. But like that one, it was like, oh, Sam Raimi, fuck off, Raimi. Like, what was that? No, I didn't like that.
Fair enough. What else?
I think that's a good section of that film. We've attacked that. Shall we?
I've got some notes though. I've got notes about things I don't like about it and things I did like about it.
All right.
Go on then.
Bring out the notes.
Let me see. Hang on.
Look at that nose. Sorry.
It's all right. Oh, okay. How about this? When Electro, he's got his powers, he goes.
You've seen more than me, so the last bit I got to the Mumford and Sons bit, and then I left.
I think this is before when he first has the first encounter with Electro.
Okay, go on.
When Electro, he goes to the middle of the town, or where is it, New York, or whatever, and he starts lifting the manhole cover in the middle of the city. No one notices, and it's just like, wouldn't you notice a big blue man with electricity running through his veins lifting a manhole cover in the middle of a massive crowd of people?
Yeah, that's true. And how comes Spider-Man sensed that from all the way on the other side of New York? His spidey sense picked that up straight away, and he was fucking yonks away. And earlier in the film, don't they establish that he's using police radios to know where crime's happening?
I can't remember if that was the reason he found out about it. Was it Spidey sense or was it?
It was Spidey sense.
Or the screams? No, the screams in the background or something.
No, because I don't think shit had kicked off yet. I think this is the problem. This is why we're shit, because we haven't seen the film properly.
yeah.
Well, at least
at
least we can say, well, no one would have done this, I guess. Most people would have probably watched it all the way through.
Yeah, we're unique
I
in this
couldn't even
fashion.
bring myself to do it. You didn't make it all the way through.
The intro. What do you think of the intro on the plane?
Oh, that was boring.
It was alright. I thought it was okay.
Boring.
I
don't care about Peter Parker's parents.
No, I thought it was pretty well done. I think.
If you from what I heard from other people who have been ranting, that first bit at the start is just you say it's boring, but like even worse. If you see the whole film, you're just like, that was actually that. No, what? It ruins it even more. Like its inclusion makes things worse. You know, the film as a whole is worse.
Well, I thought it was interesting because I mean, it would without it would have been straight up just Spidey being depressed, Spidey having problems with Gwen Stacy, and then like loads of villains. And this is why I thought it was quite interesting to mix things up a bit and have something different.
And mix things up a bit and add even more of a clusterfuck.
Yeah. But it could have worked. If aside from that, I thought as okay, what you can say its inclusion wasn't necessary, but I thought it was actually quite interesting, that bit.
I think the biggest problem, from what I can tell from you guys and several, God knows how many other sources, that the big flaw, or the most extreme flaw, is the fact that two things. Is either it doesn't know what film it's trying to be, in terms of like, are we trying to be a big spy film, or are we a relationships problem? What are we? Or are we going to try and make a balance, because they don't do that apparently? Or what villain is this film? You could probably get away with a second villain if they're already kind of established, but none of them are. Even Harry Osborn is not included. You don't, shit all in this franchise.
Harry they developed.
Yeah, they do develop a bit with.
No. I mean, you couldn't say with a previous. You can't say, oh look, we've already kind of know this character, so if this one came in, this would mean something in relation to a film with one main villain. We could have like a smaller guy because we already know him. Say like with Rhino, his entire existence is pointless in this film. He just doesn't need to be there. Like as you mentioned with the Norman Osborn thing, it's just a complete waste of time,
Really.
It's just a franchise thing. The only reason that all these villains are being shoehorned into these films without little to no development is because they go, all right, yeah, We're going to have 2 more Amazing Spider-Man films. We're also going to do a Venom standalone film, and we're also going to do a Sinister Six film. They're not thinking about it in terms of, oh, can we stay true to the comics, or can we do the best narrative we can? No, they're just thinking about it as a business, which it is, and they just want to put loads of sequels and spin-offs out there.
When I think of that, I flash back to what 2 of the other studios are doing, where you've got fucking Man of Steel 2, also known as the pre-Justice League movie, because and then you've got what they're. Whenever I read a new thing about the new Star Wars sections, which aren't comic books, but it's just funny where they're like, yeah, we're going to do some standalone films, we're going to make a couple of TV movies, TV series, this, and I'm like, they're all. It's quite funny because they're all just like, Marvel's doing that. We must all do Marvel, even though Star Wars is by the same company.
I really think that the comic book films,
it's crazy, isn't it?
Have kind of ruined a lot of things. There's some good ones, sure, but if in terms of DC with these Christopher Nolan Batman films, everything's got to be dark and everything's got to be hyper realistic. Or in terms of these Marvel movies or these Fox Marvel movies, is that everything has to be a franchise. It's ruined everything. There's nothing else. It's either got to be super realistic.
Yeah, there's going to be.
Even I saw Godzilla. Yeah. I know Godzilla's supposed to be like, you know, a metaphor for Hiroshima and, you know, nuclear power and stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, it's a fucking giant lizard smashing down a city. It doesn't have to be as dark. Huh?
It's like a dinosaur, really.
He is basically a dinosaur. He's just a lizard that... Oh, I got text. He's just a lizard, sorry. He's just a... Simon said I'm not sure, but doesn't matter.
Well, it's a bit late, so it doesn't matter.
Fuck him.
The original was dark, but it's a fucking lizard taking down Japan. Like, I like the new one. I don't know if we're going to talk about it much, but Bryan Cranston...
That actually does bring me into my next section, where I was going to be like, hey, what other films are on your mind? Because I knew Spider-Man was like still brooding in the back of your mind. I thought, let's do that first. Then I'll be like, hey, has anyone seen anything else going on lately? And then you mentioned Godzilla, so here we are. Go for it. Continue. Basically.
I won't go too much into it because no one else has seen it.
Yeah. Don't try and avoid spoilers because it has literally just come out.
It's a good film. It's not amazing. It was overhyped, just like the 1998 film, but at least this one's better than that. Godzilla's in the film for about 15 minutes in total.
Really?
Yeah. The film's 2 hours long. You get loads and loads of like scenes dedicated to the villains, the other monsters that he's going to fight. Godzilla, you do not see. You see for 15 minutes in total, and then the film ends. So yeah, Bryan Cranston was really good in it. It's again, I think I kind of like the campy Godzilla. I know, like going back to the original, I think 1954, that was a really dark film because, you know, post Hiroshima, Nagasaki, shit like that. Yeah.
Shit like that,
you know, shit went down and people were a bit depressed about that. And Godzilla was taking shit down and it was dark. It was a metaphor. And then they kind of went the campy route where he's just punching up, I don't know, King Kong and Ghidorah and all these other monsters. It was kind of more fun. With this, Bryan Cranston was good, no doubt. Really, really good, actually. But it's still a bit too Nolanized for me. It's just like there's no humor in it. It's so humorless.
No dramatic.
Yeah, like it's fine. It's good. And Bryan Cranston was one of the best things about it. But he's also one of my complaints because he's just so depressed throughout this movie. And all I'm doing is thinking, all right, this isn't 1954 anymore. You're making a film about a giant fucking lizard taking down buildings. Can you please put some humor in there? Like, it's too Nolanized. It's too Nolanized. But for what it is, it's fun. I recommend it because when Godzilla is on screen, it's fucking pimp as shit. The action's really good, but you will get bored of these other monsters because they have too much screen time, whereas Godzilla has hardly any. That's all. That's my piece, really. No one else has seen it. Yeah, that's seen it. Yeah.
I just was curious whether or not I should go see it. So.
See it.
I'm bringing that in for my own taste because I've not really looked at much about it.
I recommend it. It's a good time.
Yeah, same with like most things. I'm kind of like in a bubble lately. It's a bit surreal doing this then. The voice went all croaky then. Secondarily, as we are slowly but steadily running out of steam on the almighty ranting spree.
Actually, I've got something to say. Go on, sorry, go on. No, you say your part. No, say your
I
part.
was going to say, does anyone have any other things on their mind? Most present, other films, other topics, anything at all?
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
I'm looking forward to that. Sorry about
Exactly. After all your skepticism, after all your naysaying and all your bullshit, finally, how did the trailer look to you? Come on.
The trailer looks good, but then again, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailers look good.
At the same time, we have more reservations with Amazing Spider-Man 2, though.
Yeah, but
I mean, the villains looked gay. We have to admit, the villains looked terrible. They were so campy, looked so stupid, and it still looked a bit melodramatic, didn't it? And Nolanized in a way, even though it wasn't really. It was too humorous, actually. But we can already tell there's a problem with it. Whereas this trailer, what really looks wrong with it?
There's nothing looks wrong with it. It's just, but then again, just because the trailer looks good, again, the Godzilla trailer made the film look much better than it actually was. Not saying Godzilla's better. I enjoyed it. That would be a Blu-ray buy, definitely. But I very much doubt Dawn of the Planet of the Apes will be anywhere near as good as Rise.
I think it could be. I mean, this director, he's not done a lot of stuff, so yeah, it's likely it's got a higher chance of being a fail. But at the same time, from what I see in the trailer, any other reservations I had have gone really. I thought it might.
You didn't have any reservations. You were so fucking on its dick from the moment.
No. I thought no. You remember Kick-Ass 2? When you told me it was gonna be a new director, I was like, the same with Dawn. I mean, I was already excited for it. I expected it to be failed, but I was still excited for it in case it was good, and it was. From the looks of things, I mean, it looks good. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping it is good, but from what I see in the trailer, there's nothing that can turn me off it. Really. Whereas with Kick-Ass 2, from the trailer, I already knew it was gonna suck. So.
Well, I'm just glad that you're giving these old ones a chance now. That you get Planet of the Apes and Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Good job, Stephen. I love you for that. You actually.
Oh, really?
You're actually branching out and.
I'm always branching out, you cunt.
How are you? You're not fucking branching out. This is the only time you've ever branched out. What else have you branched out for?
You told me to watch Star Wars. I never wanted to watch Star Wars until you made me.
Right. Okay. Usually I have to make you do it. Have you ever gone? Oh, do you know what? Like.
You didn't make me, but I actually found out. Remember, I found out about these Star Wars films which had the original edits, and so I was like, all right, I'll give them a watch.
Well, the despecialized version.
Yes, despecialized. Yeah. So it was actually me. You didn't force me, but I did it. I branched out. So fuck you.
Are you? Oh yeah, and what? When we became friends like 3 years ago, what did I say? Oh, Thomas Howell. Thomas Howell's playing Shaun of the Dead at the Film Society screening. No, fuck that. I've tried watching it before. That's rubbish. And now you don't shut up and stop quoting it. Sideways, I had to get you to do that. True Romance. True Romance.
You didn't force me.
Come to class. I told you to come to class and watch that, and you were like, no. And then all of a sudden you stop fucking fail your essay. You fail your essay, and then you go, oh, I've got to redo this essay. And then you did it, and then you're like, oh my god, have you seen True Romance? It's the best big fucking ever. I already told you to watch it, you dick.
Yeah. That's
you
different.
Don't branch out, I make you branch out.
Whoa, no. You're saying that it was in spite of the fact you told me to watch it. I didn't watch it, and then when I did it on my own terms, I watched it. So I did branch out, so screw you.
No, I make you branch out.
So you might be a slight influence in my...
I'm a major influence, buddy.
All right. But now back on the Dawn of Planet of the Apes. I'm really looking forward to it. One thing I didn't like is the it's like with Rise, the CGI of the baby apes. I think it's because I don't know if it's motion capture or not. It doesn't look as convincing.
It's not.
It's not as convincing. It still looks fine, but I mean, if you compare it to like any like the Hobbit CGI, for example, which is far better.
Yeah. No, I would agree. But I think with the Hobbit, that's how the fuck are we comparing the Hobbit with Planet of the Apes? But
that's first thing that came to mind. Modern CGI was disappointing.
What's weird is that the Hobbit actually seems more childish than a fucking Planet of the Apes movie. It's so weird. The Hobbit, that's more cartoony, I guess, because they're trying to appeal to kids a bit more.
Planet of the Apes has always been after I've seen the first two films, it's been very grounded in sort of mature themes. Oh, it's crashing. What? Hello?
Yeah.
What's wrong? What? The
I'm not hearing a
universe
thing.
just went mad.
Was it-
That's interesting. Hello? Hello? Yes. Oh, fuck, we'll try and edit that out. Carry on.
Yeah, I forgot where we were now. What were we talking about?
I have no idea. You were ranting about
Oh.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and how much...
Yeah. I know. Yeah, Joel, you said you're saying it's Planet of the Apes film, so you're saying it should be like less mature or something, a bit like more light-hearted. But Planet of the Apes 1 was all about Darwinism. Planet of the Apes 2 was like a reverse of that. It was like more about religious or something.
No, I wasn't saying that it should be more child friendly or anything like that. Or I'm just saying that I find it weird that the Planet of the Apes films are actually darker than these Hobbit movies. I don't know.
No, I can understand that. I don't see why not. I mean, like I said, it's Darwinism and all that stuff. It's mature themes, it's evolution and all that stuff. Whereas The Hobbit is more of like
Fantasy,
I guess it's
really.
more child. I mean, The Hobbit was a child-friendly book anyway compared to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah, compared to Lord of the Rings, which was far more mature, far more lengthy, and far more intense. So I don't know. I think it's perfectly understandable. But The Hobbit was such a letdown anyway, so let's just not go into that.
No, let's not get into that. But like, yeah, I can see why these Planet of the Apes movies are quite dark anyway, because it's science fiction, doesn't it? It's about ideas of different futures, dystopians, shit, and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like the look of Gary Oldman in this new one, actually.
Yeah, he looks intense. I mean, it looks kind of generic. By the looks of things, okay, he's lost a family member, so he wants to get revenge on the apes, regardless of whether they're the cause of the virus or not. But that's really generic to me. I think it's just like it's been done before. Apart from that, I can look past that, and I'm just like, it looks fucking amazing.
Not amazing. Come on.
Oh no, dude. It's a different director, I know, but taking those foundations and bringing it back, I'm looking forward to it, man. The CGI looks fantastic. The motion capture looks, dude, come on. It's one of the best films for CGI for me. Aside from like Pixar films, because they've got their own isolated little world. Whereas this to have blend in the live action with CGI so seamlessly is just amazing. I love that.
I don't know. I missed it out in the cinema. If I had a chance to see something like Under the Skin, I'd rather see that than I don't know, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. There's better films coming out this year, mate. Come on.
Go on.
Well, what Under the Skin? I missed that. That have yet to come out. Actually,
Boyhood.
I don't know.
Boyhood you mentioned, but when's that come out? Boyhood.
Boyhood, I think that's this year.
This year, okay.
What's that one about?
That's the new Richard Linklater film. You describe it, Steve. I'm tired.
Or Joel. I'm basing all this based on what Joel told me. Let's see if I remember this. Basically, the guy who did what's his name? Who directed the director?
Richard Linklater.
Yeah, that guy. He's been. Was it how many years? It's been like 8 years, 12 years. He's been recording.
I think 2002. 2002 they started.
So 12 years he's been recording this guy, this kid, and showing him grow up. And he's acting, but filming for 12 years, and it's going to basically be a film. I'd imagine sort of like a drama type film, I guess, yeah, something like that. Or I don't know,
Yeah.
or coming of age film, maybe coming of age film. But it's going to be it's like 12 years in the making. It's going to be pretty amazing because it's got different actors playing this guy as he gets older. It's actually
You're breaking up, Steve.
Don't die, internet. Well, Steve died suddenly. It was a tragic loss.
You might have to wrap it up, Charlie.
Yes. Well, the almighty technical difficulties always kind of hit us. I think it was because of the, I don't know. Steve hasn't done one of these on that internet connection before, so God knows. Maybe it just doesn't like Skype.
Maybe it doesn't.
Although Skype can be shit at times. But hey, fuck. I'm very mellow, which is me 78% of my life anyway. So.
Well, I reckon you should do what you used to do, round it up with your own little thing, because I'm going to go downstairs and pig out and smoke, I think.
Pig out and smoke. Well,
yep.
I think that'll do. As we have our little rant has cut to an end as Steve's internet exploded for the second time in a row. So we'll leave the future rantings ahead. But what's out next week? Do you know? Is there anything big next week?
New X-Men.
That's next week? Well,
Yeah, Thursday.
Next week we'll rant about X-Men. Because that one I'm actually going to go and successfully see. I will make myself go outside. I know it's going to happen, not just to like get the train. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go outdoors.
All right, brilliant.
I'll do like a double feature and I'll catch Godzilla because I still haven't watched it and I might do that. Do that. Yeah.
Alrighty.
But hey, got one recommendation. Watch Godzilla. Stay the fuck away from Spider-Man. And fuck me, don't forget about X-Men next week.
Lovely. Right, I'm off.
Cool.
See
Good
ya.
night, people.